Welcome back to Southern California and the Breeders' Cup News Minute, powered by DRF Formulator. Coming up, we'll have another Formulator fact, this one about the mile. I'm Scott Jagow along with Ray Paulick. Ray, it's time to make our Saturday picks. 9 championship races at Santa Anita. Couldn't be a better day. The weather looks like it's going to be great. So let's dig in. We're not going to do every single race, but let's start with the dirt mile. Who do you like?
Omaha Beach is a really nice horse, but Improbable almost beat him earlier this year at Oaklawn Park in the Arkansas Derby. I think this horse is trained fabulously. Come up to the race, he gets a new jockey, Rafael Bejarano. I will know within seconds of the gates opening whether Improbable is going to win, because he's had gate problems in several starts. I hope he breaks cleanly. If he does, I think he can win this race.
I've always liked Improbable. In fact, I was on him in the spring. I haven't seen that form back yet, so I don't know. I have giant expectations for the number 1 horse in this race to pull off the upset. This horse doesn't always put it all together, but when he does, he runs big races. So I'm going to take a flyer on 12-1 Giant Expectations in the dirt mile. So let's move on to the filly and mare turf.
Obviously, Sister Charlie is going to be tough to beat. Villa Marina is my pick here. She won the Prix de l'Opera on Arc Day at Longchamp. That's a real good race. I mean, that's the race you want to win late season in Europe. That means that she is at the top of her game. She comes here. I think she's going to be extremely tough in the stretch.
Interesting. I think we're going to be all punching out long shots today, because I like the number 12 horse, Fanny Logan, who is 12-1. Get this. I mean, I'm not hearing a lot of buzz about this Godolphin horse. John Gosden is the trainer. We know how good he is. Frankie Dettori is the jockey. We know how good he is. Guess who the sire is? See the stars. Fanny Logan has won like 4 races in a row, and I'm not hearing any buzz. So I hate her post position, but I got to take a flyer on Fanny Logan in the filly and mare turf. Okay, let's move on to the sprint.
You talk about long shots? Sorry, not in the sprint. Matoli is going to be favored. He's the best sprinter in the country. I think Matoli will be a winning favorite on Breeders' Cup Day. I'm not going to try to beat him.
I'm going with another long shot. Engage, 15-1, who is now in the barn of Steve Asmussen. Of course, he has Matoli in this race, but I'm going with the other Asmussen. Chad Brown was the trainer, and since he's been in Asmussen's barn, this horse has won both of his starts and has looked better, improved form. So Engage for me in the sprint.
All right, in the mile, Sudois is my pick here. Sudois came over from France, made a huge run to be 3rd in the Shadwell Mile, coming out of the 12-hole, draws the rail for the mile at Santa Anita. I think he's going to sit, save ground, and make a big run to win the mile.
All right, I've got a 20-1 long shot in this race. True Valor. I'll do the caveat that I think Got Stormy, the filly, is going to be awfully tough here. But True Valor is a locally based horse trained by Simon Callahan. 20-1, and on paper fits this group, so why not?
All right, let's move on to the Distaff. Can we beat Midnight Bassoon?
I think we're both going to try.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try with Secret Spice. Secret Spice hasn't beat her before, but this is her home track. I think Richie Baltus has her in top shape coming up to this race. She's a Grade 1 winner. She's shown that she's a very classy, and she's got speed. I think Secret Spice for the upset.
Another horse that's been knocking heads with her locally, trained by John Sadler, is Ollie's Candy, the number 2. Another double-digit odds long shot. Why not her in this race? If you like a horse like that, if Midnight Bazoo is vulnerable at all, it might be one of these local horses who has been over the track quite a bit and in their backyard.
Can a horse win its first graded stakes in the Breeders' Cup turf?
That's awfully tough.
I think so. I think Richard Mandela has the best record in the Breeders' Cup when it's held at Santa Anita. This is a horse, United, that he's brought along very slowly, been stakes placed in graded stakes, but has yet to win. Draws the 3-hole, gets Flavian Pratt, who rides this course really well. I think United is going to shock the world in the turf.
He's lightly raced, and I think he has a really bright future. I just don't know if this year is that moment for him. But why not at those odds? I like Channel Maker here. He's drew the outside post, but it's a 1.5 mile race. It doesn't really matter. Channel Maker, trained by Bill Mott, always shows up, and I think it's a lock that he'll be in the trifecta. And at his odds, 12 to 1 or so, he might even sneak up and win this thing. So channel maker for me in the turf.
Breeders' Cup Classic, it's been 10 years since Zenyatta upset or beat Colts. It was on a synthetic surface, but hey, she still beat Colts to win the Classic. Elate is going to do the same thing on Saturday on the dirt. She's a 1.25 mile horse. Bill Mott, I think, has been very quietly confident in Elate. This will be her final start. She's going to be bred to Warfront. This is not the best field in the history of the Breeders' Cup Classic. I think Elate has enough ability. She's a big, strong mare to win the Classic.
Yeah, I think this race is more wide open than maybe people are talking about. I mean, McKenzie, if he runs his A-plus game, will be very hard to beat, but he doesn't always run his A-plus game. Code of Honor, if he runs his A-plus game, probably will win the race. And as you say, Elate loves the 1.25 mile distance, so watch out for her. But again, I just feel like it's so contentious that I'm going to take a stab, I guess I'll say, on Owendale, who's a bomb in this race. I've always liked him. I don't know if he's a grade 1 type horse, but I like what I've seen from him this year, and so I'm going to give it a shot.
And he's in good form right now.
He's in good form.
Yeah. Well, our formulator fact today, going back to the mile, involves trainer David O'Meara, who has both my pick, Sudois, and Lord Glitters in that race. In the last 5 years, David O'Meara has had 11 starters in North America, 3 winners for an ROI of $3.80. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. All right, that's going to do it for the Saturday edition of the Breeders' Cup News Minute, powered by DRF Formulator. Find out more, drf.com/formulator. Thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy the races.